Like, very hard to say anything when you haven't done anything about it.
Confront all the backward ideas and backward things about this culture and this society. Overcome and become a force for change and bring about that change. But it won't happen by wishing it were so and by proclaiming it. It will only happen through direct struggle and confrontation.
We no longer wish to be treated as statistics.
I think it's a common mistake to think that violence is a choice in political matters. Violence exists in certain social situations, and it's not a question of choosing to be violent or non-violent.
When you're putting forward the idea of revolution, you have a responsibility to build in from the very beginning the realization that no revolution can take place successfully without an armed confrontation with the state. The imperialist power will fight as long as it can with the most advanced technological weapons that it has. And I feel that pacifism and nonviolence becomes an excuse for not struggling, for not fulfilling what I feel is a human obligation in this world to bring about revolutionary change and to destroy the imperialist system.
We no longer wish to be treated as statistics.
Why haven't the popular struggles in this country been more successful? Why hasn't there been a revolution? One of the main reasons, well, the main reason, is that people are divided against each other. People around the country are very good at this. They've managed to turn men against women, they've managed to turn white-collar workers against blue-collar workers, but mainly for 400 years, they've managed to turn white people against black people.
Violence is a part of American culture. It is that America is stereotyped.
Episode 8.8 of Sonicroadkillofthegodz. Occupy. For those of you regular viewers who are saying 8.8 are going backwards, seriously? Yeah, no, as you say, I'm not fucking with people. I'm really trying to hide these videos. For those who might be actually trying to find new episodes, it can be a little bit difficult. The sort of robot taking over the channel thing over the summer was definitely an attempt to fuck that shit up. I was not planning on the Occupy Seattle taking over the whole channel. That has occurred. That's what's going on. I'm going to talk about that in this show. You know, I mean, I'm not entirely convinced, seeing as how I don't promote it at all or advertise in any way, that I even want anyone to watch this show, which works out well, because nobody does. Because a few, you know, brave, unfortunate souls who click, and I'm assuming you've probably already moved on to something else by now, but should you still be watching? Thank you. Just to take care of a little channel business before I get to what this episode's about. Sorry to the subscribers, including Lord Gagmeat, who is the bassist from Misery. The misery vid will be coming, still coming. The Occupy Seattle thing has occupied this channel, which I will talk about in a little bit. I will talk about other things happening on the channel a little bit later in the episode. But subscribe to Lord Gazmy's channel, YouTube channel, aka The Basis of Misery. Today we'll give you a shout-out plug. I can't promote the music another way right now. So, this is the Occupy episode. I'm going to talk a little bit about Occupy Wall Street, Occupy Seattle, my involvement with that, my involvement with activism in general. I'll talk about all that stuff. As always, unedited. Used to be live, not so live, or I used to pretend or try to be live. I think I want to talk a little bit about the music. I did start with Off Rotten. I don't think I'm going to go straight political the whole episode, as was the original plan. Oh yeah, totally doing a, political episode, bust out all the political puns. I think I enjoyed a lot of that stuff in the 90s. I think the 90s. I think I burned out on a lot of that stuff. Okay, I just played like 3 Off Rotten songs. That's cool. Maybe we'll do this. Cute Lepers playing this Thursday at the Showbox. All ages. So I will play some Crass or some Complex. I love that stuff. I feel like at some point I burnt out on it. I feel like, the Falkland Wars were a long time ago, and, that shit was tragic, but, I know. It's important to know your history. It's important, and if you haven't listened to those records hundreds of times, definitely listen to them, absorb that shit. But once it becomes part of the core of your being, I don't feel like you need to listen to it all the time. I feel like in the 90s, we sucked all of the fun out of punk, and I'm going to say it. And I don't know if it was just, the group of people that I was associated with at the time, with the music we were listening to, and I'll get to that. I knew my share of rock punks at the time, but, starting then, and even to this day, there was something, I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna, listen to music and play my music, and I don't give a shit about politics. Fuck that shit. It was something that felt a little bit defensive. It's not really acceptable to be completely, in general, but especially within the punk community, but there's still definitely a fair share of bands that are not particularly political. And that's great. I think we need a whole spectrum of stuff. I think, We're going to get to this at some other point, but you know, we can't focus so much on the politics that we forget art and the music of the music. Political music that has no soul or heart may as well just be, may as well just be something. But, you know, in the 90s, when we were selling women alternately and having consensus-driven meetings, you know, important things happen, and that is great, and that is, and I feel like we made strides towards things, but somewhere along the way we lost other things. And I hope the Occupy movement doesn't lose those things and strive towards other things. Ooh. So, cute lepers, the damned. Well, I guess I got Halloween episode next week, season 3, actual season premiere. This episode doesn't count. Haha. I'm wearing gray. I'm not even here. I'm not wearing black. But the Halloween episode, I may as well promote Misfits of Science, which will be, if you've watched the clips, which is no one, to this episode, if the bonus music clip. Basically, it's me and a guitar, but I'll be doing a bunch of Misfits covers. I'll be in Misfits drag. If you are, if you're in a tent in Vivaldi Park, if you don't have access to the millions of Misfits cover bands playing all around the world, you can check out my YouTube video that will be coming up next week. Misfits covers, blah, blah, blah. Sonicroadkillofthegodz, season 3, episode 10, the Halloween episode. Lord Death. This is Behind Enemy Lines with Growing Wolfcat. An example of doing it right, I guess. Staying on task, staying on message. It's funny. I have been accused of being a corporate shill because I tend to do unboxings, which is something I admit I kind of like on YouTube. People buy shit and then they open it up and share with other people who might want to buy that shit, what it might look like. Because I've done some of that on this show. Oh, he's a corporate shill for so-and-so. Seriously? Do you really think people would pay to associate with it? That's absurd. On that note, charms. They still exist. You can still buy them. This one appears to be lime flavored. Probably vegan. I think I read the ingredients. That's pretty good candy. I'm not in the mood for candy though. Excuse me. Maybe I'll grab another beer. Excuse me, once again. Excuse me. Times 12. I will be playing my favorite Crass song of all time. Off of my favorite Crass album. Yes, sir, I will. Seriously, it really is. I think I can do this. Okay. That's quality entertainment right there. Because I suspect I'm going to forget, I have to show the cute Lepers bag that I bought for my daughter. She's never used it, but she was super pissed that I saw them at the fun house, and she did not. But we will be seeing them this Thursday, and you can too. Okay. We'll get to the politics, I promise. Hand and Skin, where's the record player? Oh, I see it. So on the topic, stating our message, I will be playing some conflict. Mighty and Superior. That was Crass with a song I can't remember the name right now. So, you know, I was talking to a friend about the whole Occupy Seattle thing and all those kind of things. And they were saying, you know, I'm going to shut up for a second. lost and not forgotten method. I love this song and I love conflict, but I feel like if you listen to the whole song, it's got so much shit going on. It's hard to figure out what their message is. And this friend, who I was talking to, their point was, you know, police brutality. Once you start getting into, you need to stay on message. I get that point. For me, it's hard because, you know, how can you talk about jobs without talking about transit? How can you talk about transit without talking about fossil fuels? Once you get into fossil fuels, you've got to make room for the no blood for oil people, the anti-war protesters. Once you make room for them, you may as well let the IWW and the socialist, wobbly, blah, 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 buy my paper and button people. You know, come on down. Free for all. But I feel like the problems are holistic. It's not one simple issue. Assuming every American who wanted and was capable of having a job suddenly got a job tomorrow, we'd still all be fucked. So you can't just be like, I don't know, stay on message. Yes, stay on message. But as they occupy and continue to, you are establishing codifying, ratifying methodology. You are deciding and becoming what this will be. And that's great. I don't know if it can be a one-thing thing. I hope it isn't. I hope it grows. I hope this movement grows. I hope people who are pissed about this, that, and the other join the movement, bring in their this, that, and the other. Bring in their this, that, and the other. Where am I? I'm not finding that. Alright. We're going to kick it old school. Sandwich in between the diamond commercial that would be it. I don't know. Vivaldi, Four Seasons. Love it. A lot of it's very famous. Some of it's a little more subtle. You know, so I uploaded a lot of Occupy Seattle videos. I sold some more. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I feel like the movement here is becoming what it's becoming, and I'm not sure I'm entirely down with it. It seems to be a feed the homeless, hang out on weekends and after work, liberal, social hangout space, which is basically making it, you know, let's turn it, Westlake into Telegraph Ave in Berkeley, which is great, but then, you know, then you have to make way for the keeping it going. people selling funny buttons that have nothing to do with politics, people selling drug using paraphernalia openly on the street because that's free speech, people, you know, inclusivity is great, but it has its place. You know, honestly, I'm not even being sarcastic. I really do think we should turn Westlake into something like that. Me. Rod. That wasn't what I was going to play. I'm going to do it. Am I going to do it again? No. Let's see. You know, that's been a dead space for a long time. Let's do that. Let's use it for that. Let's make it a public, open-air market for a variety of things, including drugs. But that's not a political movement. I don't know what's going on in Psychotic Park right now. I hope it's impressive. I don't think I'm going to be shooting or taking any or uploading any more videos from Occupy Seattle. Good a time as any. I may as well talk about some chanting. I uploaded one video, and there was chanting going on. I didn't, you know, it seemed like a private thing. I backed off. The last videos I took, most of which I didn't upload, large group of people, Westlake Park, in the dark, sitting cross-legged, someone saying something, people responding. I was very close, couldn't understand any of it. Frankly, very cult-like. And kind of creepy. A lot of creepy. Found her dead on the ground. Fuck. I'm burning through this shit faster than I thought. Remember way back in the 90s when we all hated Coca-Cola? What's up with that? Oh my god. This is going to be one of those episodes, huh? Yeah. Are they still murdering kids in Colombia? Do we have bigger problems? Is Coca-Cola still an evil corporation? I'm out of touch with all of that. And I'll get to that. So the chanting creeps me out. Especially because it seemed to be that, I mean, they were live streaming it. This wasn't, and maybe on the live stream, and I should look it up, you could understand what they were saying. I couldn't understand what they were saying. My daughter couldn't understand what they were saying. We were both 10 feet away, trying to shoot video. Oh my god. That was Sincerely. Performed by The Supremes. This would be the reason I made the Coca-Cola reference. Oh my god! No, it will not. Kill me. Worst episode ever. Except not really, because I do this every episode. Yeah, that rocked. That was worth it. You know, that's some beautiful ass vinyl. I'm just going to go with that. Actually played the song I wanted to play. Rock on. So, something about the chanting made me think of the non-conformist oath, which I thought was on this album. It's not. I'm pretty sure it's on this album, which makes it not even a little bit underground or obscure. It's probably one of the most best-selling comedy albums of all time. Emo Phillips has a bit on this about owls that I realized what made me think of it, but that's not what I was thinking of. Let's just say 99 Cent Records segment right there. I fucking hate Steve Martin, so I did not look for, or I'm not going to play the non-performance of, but something with the chanting made me think of that. If you are new to a movement, if you're new to the movement, if you're just heading down to Occupy Seattle, or Occupy Wall Street, or Occupy where the fuck you are, where we're starting to occupy shit, not to do that shit, except... Anyway. Feel free to ask questions. Feel free to... Don't just do what they tell you. Don't just... Okay, I'm ready to play whatever. Alright. When I lived in San Francisco, I mentioned Berkeley, but I lived in the Bay Area for some time. I spent some time with Food Not Bombs. And one of the things I really respected was the second time I ever showed up for a meeting, I offered to facilitate, and they said yes. And I fucked that shit up. And I said, let's do this. And they were like, actually, we usually do it this way. And I was like, okay, but how about this? And they let me. And it fucked shit up. But I respect that they let me. If you run a consensus-driven organization, group, and you're not getting to make decisions, or don't feel like your voice is heard, or don't feel like you can express your opinion, that is not right. you know, oftentimes charismatic leaders rise to the top, and then the grunt workers do all of that stuff. If someone hands you a stack of flyers, you should know what it's about. There's nothing I hate worse than someone handing me a political flyer and being like, hey, I'm the dude who will actually take this and look at it and ask you questions. And they're like, there's a website. You know, do you know nothing about it? Maybe you just want to stand there and hand out flyers. Maybe you're not a verbal person, and that's fine. I'm not a very social or verbal person myself. But you should be prepared to at least say something about the flyer you're trying to hand people. On the flip side, if someone comes up and starts trying to just troll you and they're all aggro in your face, you know, hey, there's the website. You don't have to talk to someone just because you handed them something. Have I already labeled this section, you know, advice for newbies in the movement? Honestly, I'm burned out. Holding signs and placards and all that stuff, chanting and all that stuff. But I don't know. You should be knowledgeable on the topics that you are presenting yourself as knowledgeable on. I present myself as knowledgeable on punk. Don't know shit about it. What the fuck is punk? What's that shit? I say dumb shit all the time. And I always have this show to remind me of that. And it's not. The great and varied users of Reddit disturb me by stupidity on a plate. Gotta give a shout out. I don't know what to go. I mean, you know, I've heard people at, you know, Palestine rallies talking about the treatment of Jews, and it's like, yes, historically, Jewish people have been dealt a bum deal. But that's not what we're here about. Yes, you've heard the word Israel. Are you sure you know what's going on? I'll be right back. speaking of charismatic leaders, obviously I am not one. Not a charismatic person. But there are people out there who are. And it's very tempting to follow them. And sometimes you should. Sometimes the leaders of movements bring about change and revolution. Who knows who those people might be? Sometimes movements are sabotaged by the media, who latch on to individuals who, you know, I understand. You've been writing a blog or doing whatever you've been doing forever, trying to express and share, and you've got these ideas and no one's listening, and then suddenly Occupy whatever, and you're being interviewed by X, Y, or Z, and it's tempting. I feel like individuals are easier to discredit than movements. I feel like the media will probably latch on to spokespeople who become icons, who become fallen angels. But, you know, who knows what'll happen. When I was doing the Food Not Bomb thing in the late 90s in San Francisco, there were definitely leaders, and it was consensus driven, and they definitely showed their commitment to that. But there were definitely still people who were running the show, and it was okay, and they definitely continued to show their commitment. I played Hi Dad, I'm in jail. Shout out to my dad. I actually, when I was arrested in San Francisco, called him up from the, if anyone's been arrested in San Francisco or was arrested there, I don't know what the jails are like now. It's plexiglass, and there was a payphone, and you can get free calls anywhere in America. I think there were some people with us who'd been arrested who were from Canada. They couldn't get through. But I got through to New York, left a message on my dad's machine. Hi, Dad, I'm in jail. And, excuse me. We were separated by gender. The females were on the other side. We could see them. We attempted to play charades, but obviously, once we figured out fairly quickly, part of charades is figuring out what the other person is saying, and or understanding whether they know that we're playing charades, because we were just mostly gesticulating. They could see us, they couldn't hear us. Again, plexiglass, stare through plexiglass. We were fed. We got peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, which I don't know what the bread was made of, but I decided or assumed it was vegan and ate it. I know that some of the people I was involved with, some of the people I'm talking about who were leaders of that movement, went on to, because of their involvement with the Bionic Baking Brigade, shout out to the Bionic Baking Brigade, arrested and charged with more serious crime, went to actual prison, I think, if it was actual prison, but for not an extraordinarily long period of time, 6 months maybe, did not have access to vegan meals. Definitely, you know, they knew what they were doing, they made their choices, they accepted their choices, they refused to, I think, apologize, and I think they were offered the chance to apologize, but they chose to serve their terms instead. But yeah, no, it was real prison, not for funsies. His bank sent to their neighbor, get back 125 on us. How long would that last, Chief? I don't even know about their fees, but Wells Fargo and B of A and blah blah blah. Thanks, but no thanks. What the fuck? This episode brought to you by Russell Simmons, Super Rich. Seriously, that's the name of the book. It's all about spiritually rich, not money rich, because he's already rich, so that would be stupid to try and write. Except it's kind of a business book, but kind of a motivational book, self-help book, blah, blah, blah. Serial, Russell Simmons, Super Rich, a guide to having it all. There's a story behind why I have this, but I'm not even going to go there. I wanted to talk about voting, not even yay or nay. I have, as an anarchist, definitely made lots of choices not to vote at all. But I am making that choice. I don't know. Put those thoughts out there. Voting, not voting, government, not government. Let's talk about that shit. You know, I voted for John Kerry. Possibly, I can't imagine a politician I would be less enthusiastic about. Oh really, I'm going to register to vote to support this guy or gal or what have you, because I believe in what they have to say. I think we all know why I voted for John Kerry in 2004. It made no difference. 4 more years, yay! Voting makes a difference, doesn't it? I don't know. Alright. Moving on to the end of this episode. Trying to stay on topic and stay away from police brutality. I will not play Honey, I Shrunk the Cops, but I do have to promote Fucking Hipsters' new album. Issues with the cover art, kind of clip arty. All the other art is Drucker, awesome. And also, on one hand, if you like, they're copying out, not putting their name on the cover. On the other hand, I can see this logo being something I would actually wear, because I can't see myself wearing a Star Fucking Hipsters t-shirt. As much as I love this band. We'll not be playing Honey, I Shrunk the Cops. We'll be playing 9/11 Till Infinity. And then I have to talk about flipbooks. I guess Glow in the Dark was last season, this season, next season, flipbook. That's the dork thing. That's not working. I'm gonna have to figure this out. Alright.
going to do this? I should have planned this before I shot this episode. Alright. Anyway. This is by Fly. There's another... Well, should I figure out the technology, this incredibly complex technology, that this season will feature flipbooks, because flipbooks rock. If you don't have any, again, Misfits of Science, Misfits cover video, lots of covers, Misfits, whole thing. Sonicroadkill episode 10, season 3 premiere, Halloween episode, and I mentioned this because, Halloween. Rats are not available. Longtime viewers know that this show started off basically as an infomercial for the rats. Rats are not available this season. They're not decorations for a party. Alright. I think we're reaching the end of the line. Frog and Toad puzzle. We'll get there. brought to you by Sewn.